Well, after a long summer, it's finally here, hockey season. Welcome to Season 4 of Hockey North Weekly. I'm Brendan Paulu, your host, and the Caribou Cougars, as well as all the other Northern hockey programs, finally getting underway in the 2025-26 hockey season. For the Caribou Cougars, the U17 season began over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday with a pair of victories over the Vancouver Northwest Hawks. Caribou winning on Saturday by a 3-1 score over the Hawks from kid number 1. And then a thrilling come from behind third period. They were up 1-0 after 2 periods, found themselves down 2-1 courtesy of a couple Connor Green goals by the Hawks. And then Brett DeGan, Sawyer, Latkowski with 2 goals lead in the third to ensure a 3-2 victory and a 2-0 start for the Caribou Cougars against Vancouver Northwest in the first weekend of the 2025-26 regular season. U17s will hit the road this weekend coming up to Greater Vancouver to play the Canadians. They just got shellacked back-to-back games against the Thompson Blazers in U17 action. So one, Caribou will look to keep their perfect start going, and 2, the Canadians looking to rebound after a not-so-good start. And with more on last weekend's effort against the Hawks, here's Sawyer Latkowski. All right, with Sawyer Latkowski, U17 Caribou Cougars, a big opening weekend for your team, a pair of hard-fought wins against the Vancouver Northwest Hawks. Must feel pretty good to get off to a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to get that big 4 points there to start off the season. You know, last year we didn't have that, and it's just good. It gets the boys going, you know. I think it'll just keep that rolling.
You came back from a broken femur last year. It seems like you've come back stronger, faster, haven't really skipped a beat. You had 3 goals this weekend. What seemed to be working for you?
You know, just playing my game, you know, just keeping it simple, having fun out there, and just having a time, really.
Yeah, 2 different types of games out there. On Saturday, a 3-1 win. It seemed like you were in control for most of that game. Brendan Perch, a couple of big saves. Of course, you had a couple of goals in there as well. And then on Sunday, you had to dig for this one. It was 1-0 after 2. Then they scored a couple of quick ones, and then you get one as well as the Gans. Just talk about the 2 different types of games that you had to play this weekend.
Yeah, last year it was, last game it was more of a, last game it was more of a comeback in the first period. This game was more in the third, you know, just trying to work our way back.
Yeah. Just talk about the success with your line mates, Gavin Parmar and Brett DeGans. What seems to be clicking for you?
Just having fun up there and keeping it quick. There's not much to it. The boys just got cam right off the bat, and they're just going to try to keep that one rolling.
What are your major goals for the year?
Keep this point streak going and win the chip.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Sawyer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Latkowski, 3 goals in the 2 games, and coming back from a broken femur, I don't care who you are or what level of athlete you are, coming back from a major injury like that, not an easy task, and nice to see that Latkowski is doing fairly well to begin the year off to a great start. 3 goals in 2 games and very clutch in those 2 Caribou victories. Moving on, the U15s kick off their season this weekend with a 4-game showcase against all the lower mainland teams down in Langley. They'll play twice against the Greater Vancouver Canadians, once against the Vancouver Northwest Hawks, followed by a date with the Valley West Giants. So good luck to the U15s there. The U18 AAA female Northern Capitals won't start until the 26th and 27th with a pair of road games out in the lower mainland. While the U18 Caribou Cougars, well, they went 2-1 in a trio of exhibition games on home ice against the Thompson Blazers over the weekend. A 6-3 win and a 6-3 loss was followed up by an emphatic 7-6 victory over Thompson on Sunday. They'll get reacquainted with the Blazers in Kamloops this weekend to kick off the brand new campaign. Now, speaking of the Northern Capitals, they just had their media day. They're getting set for their second season with Hayden James Barrett as their head coach. And the new captain is Nicole Bateman of Smithers. So congrats, Nicole, on being named the unquestioned leader on this Capitals team. Quinnell's Tyler Jensen as well as Paige Umbach of the Caribou, also named the assistants of this year's team. We actually caught up with Reese Overton of the Northern Capitals, another veteran player, part of that core of this Caps team after 15 points in 30 games last year. She is committed to the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. I caught up with Reese Overton in regards to her equipment, and safe to say she's pretty excited about her move to the Prairies next year. All right, welcome back to the Hockey North Weekly podcast. With me now is veteran Northern Capitals forward and now newly minted University of Saskatchewan commit, Reese Overton. Reese, I guess just talk about being committed to the University of Saskatchewan.
Honestly, I'm still in shock. It's a great opportunity for me. All the coaches there were just so nice and welcoming, and the program was amazing. University is just crazy beautiful too. Yeah.
I guess just talk about that recruiting process. Obviously, you had several teammates from last year that had been to that recruiting stage. What was it like being a part of that whole recruiting side of things?
It was such a great experience. All the coaches I talked to were just so interesting to hear about the team dynamics and how they coach their team. Yeah, Steve's
been there a long time. What was it about their offer or opportunity that stood out the most to you?
Just how welcoming they made everything feel. And a cool part about this is that the rink is actually named after my great-grandpa's first cousin, Merlis Belcher, and he donated money to help build that rink for the team.
Yeah, it's a nice brand new rink there. I've been in there a couple times. Top glass facility. Just talk about expectations for yourself in your final year with the Caps. You had 15 points in 30 games last year. Just talk about what you're expecting out of yourself in your final season.
I'm just hoping to be a great leader to my teammates. All my teammates have so much skill and work ethic, and I hope I can just lead them to bring it home a blue banner this year. And I'll just be anything that they need me to be, whether that's leading in points, hard forecheck, or just being a cheerleader.
Now, you're from Williams Lake. I asked you this before, but I'll ask you this again. What is it about that development model in the minor hockey that seems to put a lot of junior/university eligible players through? There's been a lot of players in the Caribou program and the CAP program that have made that jump. What is it about the minor hockey program there that's so strong?
We have such great coaches and mentors there, and just looking up at all the players that go places just gives you that little urge to do and succeed as much as they do.
Yeah, and it just seemed like when Hayden took over on the bench, you're kind of running that junior system where you had more of a true forecheck. You're a lot more aggressive offensively. You're able to score a lot more. How do you feel? How much more confident do you think this team is with knowing what to expect now out of Hayden in terms of the system that you like to run, and how much easier is that going to be to hit the ground running at the start of the season?
Yeah, I feel with our team this year and all the work ethic and skill that we have, I feel Hayden's pushed us to be very good so far this season, and I think that we can do lots this season.
Now you have a pair of exhibition games against the U15 Caribou program. I guess what's it like to have that different experience where you're playing against a boys team of kind of a similar age group in a lot of ways? How does that help you prepare for maybe some of the speed or physicality of what you might expect in the regular season?
Yeah, the boys, they took on a lot this weekend. They were great battling, and they just have lots of skill, hard shots, and it kind of pushes us to be better and prepares us for this season for sure.
What do you think the biggest asset of this year's team is going to be?
Probably how eager we are at practice to work hard and just get better every single day.
All right, Reese, well, thank you very much for your time on this.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll have you again on the podcast sometime later on in the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Reese Overton of the Northern Capitals as they embark on yet the 2025-26 season. First home action for the Caps will be right here on home ice on October 4th and 5th against the Fraser Valley Rush. That'll be the Breast Cancer Awareness Weekend, so the Caps will wear their pink jerseys on the Saturday night, probably on the Sunday as well, but for sure the Saturday game as they kick off their home part of the schedule, not this weekend, but the one after on October 4th and 5th against Fraser Valley. course, the Prince George Spruce Kings, they begin their 2025-26 campaign on the road with a pair of games in the Lower Mainland. They'll kick things off in Chilliwack against the Chiefs. Spruce Kings actually just came back from the Lower Mainland to finish off the exhibition season. Spruce Kings won a wacky 7-6 in Langley over the Rivermen, and then dominated the Chiefs by a 5-1 score to end the preseason on a high note. Spruce Kings rounding out their roster with the signings of forwards Spencer Dempsey as well as Mateo Mercic, Matic Percic rather. Percic, of course, the younger brother of Max Percic, who played for the Spruce Kings last season and was an overage defenseman. So welcome to the Spruce Kings, Matic and Spencer, as they embark on what could be another very successful season in the BCHL. And of course, the Prince George Cougars renew their rivalry once again with the Portland Winterhawks. They are home to Portland on Friday and Saturday here at the CN Center. Puck drop for the Friday, 7 o'clock. Puck drop for the Saturday, a 6 o'clock start. The Cougars, of course, eliminated by the Winterhawks in 7 games during last year's Western Conference quarterfinal series at home. They were also ousted by the Winterhawks in double overtime in 6 games in the Western Conference final in 2024. Last but certainly not least, the KIJHL gets going this weekend. Special shout out to both the Williams Lake Mustangs and the Quesnel River Rush. The River Rush and the Mustangs will alternate home dates with the Merritt Centennials. Quesnel will host Merritt on the Friday. Williams Lake will host Merritt on the Saturday. And then to end the weekend, it's going to be Williams Lake taking on Quesnel in the West Fraser Center down in downtown Quesnel. So it should be quite the battle between those two South Cariboo rivals. Of course, you have the 100-Mile House Wranglers in the mix there as well. It should make for some entertaining hockey in that area of the province all season long as they battle it out, not only for the league championship supremacy, but also for the coveted Cariboo Cup between those 3 rival communities. So there you have it. That's our season opener of Hockey North Weekly. I'm your host, Brendan Paulu. Special thanks again to the Northern Capitals' Reese Overton and the Cariboo U17 Cougars' Sawyer Latkowski for joining us in this week's episode. So long for now, and we'll see you next week.